viewers like you, and we really enjoy putting them into videos, and it means a lot to us when you guys subscribe and share the videos and use the hashtag for share, show, and tell us at Shed Show Talk. It helps us build amazing videos for you guys, and we're excited to do so. So thank you for all of you who have supported us. Now this week I've got several sightings for you, including photos and videos, but please bear with me because I'm using new software and I've been testing it out, but you know, there's a couple things that it might be a tad glitchy. But anyhow, let's go to our first sighting. It's in Canada, in a province called Alberta, in a city called Calgary. And if you notice where the UFO sighting is on these maps by Google, you can actually see the lush vegetation and rivers. And I always like to pay attention to what's in the area when somebody does a UFO sighting. And if you noticed in some of our other videos, there's been a couple sightings in Alberta, Canada. So perhaps that's the reason why the first UFO launch pad was built here in Alberta. Perhaps that's because of the high number of sightings that are happening here. This first UFO sighting out of Calgary, Canada is really quite phenomenal, and it's phenomenal because it has an amazing story, amazing photos, and the UFO spotters want to know what viewers like you think is going on here. So they see this orb in the sky and they snap a few photos, but then they describe some things that weren't in the photos but are super interesting. And they'd mentioned that this orb was moving directly southbound. If you picture the maps I just showed you, that's essentially moving south towards the river. And they said all of a sudden a red dot emerged from a wisp of a cloud. Where did that cloud come from? It's a perfectly clear day. Anyhow, so this red dot emerged and interacted with the other orb, and basically they said the red dot essentially moved further south and they lost sight of it. But they both seemed to keep in a very straight southward direction. And shortly thereafter, both orbs disappeared, and then a plane came into view. And I'm going to show you the plane here in just a sec. But if you look at the plane here, man, it's super clear. And when I pulled this photo open into one of my photo software, what I noticed was it was so distinctive, and the picture is huge. The scale of this photo is absolutely massive. And again, where are the clouds? Where did that red dot come from? I don't know. But when you compare the plane to this orb photo, and I tried to put them side by side just to give you guys a little bit of perspective, but what a phenomenal sighting. It lasted about 10 to 15 minutes, and the spotters, again, they want your viewer feedback. So remember to comment, like, subscribe, and let us know if you've seen anything like this orb. Or if you're in the Calgary area and you spotted anything like this, let us know and send us your pictures at shedshowtalk@gmail.com. And also, if you find anything about this specific sighting in Calgary, let us know. Add that hashtag SHSHT for shoot, share, and tell us at Shed Show Talk, so that we can track some of these comments and find out what on earth was going on over the skies of Calgary in March 2017. Okay, this next sighting comes out of Ontario, Canada. Again, another hotspot for UFO activity. And this sighting, at first, when it was sent to me, I looked at it and I thought, and I passed on, but something drew me back, and I just want to show you guys what I'm thinking. If you look at this photo at first, it just looks like a beautiful lake country kind of sky. But if you zoom in and take a look at these objects, what's interesting to me about these objects is the density of their color. They're so deep and dark and rich. And if you've ever taken a massive photo and perhaps you see a flock of Canadian geese or something else in the area, they don't quite have this same density. So I found myself going back to this over and over again, and this is just something I'm personally curious about. Do you guys know what this is? I did do some digging on some related sites about different Black Project aircraft to see if any of them had these sort of like V-wing shape, and I didn't find anything immediately close, but I just can't shake this sighting. And maybe it's because I always like to understand things that aren't understandable, I don't know. But if you look at the maps, you guys, like, this place is in the middle of nowhere in lake country, and there's been quite a lot of activity coming out of lake country in Ontario. And as you can see, this person who actually submitted the photos had said that he didn't know what it was. He was looking through photos and then suddenly noticed something, and when he zoomed in, took a look, and he had no clue what this is. And so he submitted it so other people can take a look. So, fellow ufologists and people, what do you think this is? Let us know in the comments section. Next up is a quick disclosure from yet another celebrity. You guys, I don't know what's going on, but tons of magazines and tons of news articles have been pumping out celebrity endorsements for UFO sightings. Every other day, it seems, there's somebody new saying, I've seen a UFO, it influenced my art, my writing, my musical skills, my dreams, my life. And so whatever's going on with this trend, here's Dave Davies adding his name to the list. And Dave was one of the major members of the band The Kinks out of the United Kingdom. And he is obviously from England itself, and he's had sightings in England. And when he was doing a pop culture interview for the magazine called The Vulture, and I'll pull this up here, you can see it was written with the title, The Truth Is Out There. And as you read this article, super cool, he kind of talks about many experiences and how it influenced the very songs he wrote that people sang along to in their cars and in their homes. So listen, you guys, when people are having UFO experiences, it pervades our culture, and then we consume that. So I think ufology is a lot bigger than people might give it credit. But he said in the interview he's had several experiences seeing UFOs. It was really interesting. He saw them in North Devon in England, lights and zigzags in the sky. And if you want to read this article by Vulture, there's a lot more in there for people. He believed that he telepathically communicated with extraterrestrials. And you guys, this is a major pop culture magazine, so clearly ufology is hitting the scene in a bigger and bigger way. People have this incredible curiosity, and then they look for answers over and over again because it's incredibly mysterious. So we'd love to hear your stories sometime. You can always shoot us an email or tweet us. We check them regularly, you guys. We love your viewer feedback, and so we'd love to know what got you into ufology. Okay, we've saved the best video for last. I can't wait to show you guys the next UFO sighting. Okay, this UFO sighting involves pilots, the Air Traffic Control Center, or the ATC, and one, possibly upwards of 4 different UFO sightings. I've tried to piece together the audio files, and I've also pulled up some flight paths that were made available just to try to make sense of everything that happened. And this is what I can tell you. The flights were each just over 1 hour. They were happening at approximately 6:40 p.m. to 8 p.m. depending on the time zone, and they encountered various UFOs. And what's interesting is there's 2 different planes involved, and the ATC is having an interaction with the pilots and communicating information. So you'll hear several different voices as these planes are identifying objects, changing flight paths, changing altitudes, and describing things that are then being conveyed to the other plane. And so as I listen to these audios, and they are official audio portions, and they were obtained by one of the pilots, you can hear several things going on. I've tried to add some text in so that it's a little easier to follow. I know this whole thing's outside of my technical expertise, but this I can say. If I were in the ATC, if I were one of these pilots, I'd be very interested in what happened this day, because what we do know is it's not military. These UFOs are not documented. They have no typical pattern of flight nor of chatter. So there's definitely a lot of interesting things happening here. Have a listen to the recordings.
Mile 4781, the Albany altimeter 3042, cross 30 miles, 30 miles south of Albany at maintain 1000.
Alright, 42 on the meter, 30 this side at 11,000, 4791.
Trailblazer 482, have a good night. Contact New York approach 120.15.
2015 Trailblazer 482, good night, set.
Advocacy 224, I don't have Ruber on my new flight plan. Is that on an approach or something?
And good speed 224. Alright, change of plans here. You're clear direct to Lemoore. That's also not on your route. It's Lima, Echo, Mike, Oscar, Romeo. Send direct to Cote. The rest of the route is unchanged. Descend and maintain 7,000.
Spell that again for me one more time. Just 224.
Lima, Echo, Mike, Oscar, Romeo.
Lima, Echo, Mike, Oscar, Romeo. Send Cote. The rest of the file is 224. Commuter 4962 is leaving 13 for 11,030 South Albany.
Commuter 4962, roger, thank you. Contact Albany approach 132.82, good night.
3282, Commuter 4962, see ya.
Delta 1361, contact Bradley approach 123.905, good night.
395, Delta 1361, have a pleasant evening.
Andy, Boston, Navo 3 Hotel Fox.
Navo 3 Hotel Fox, go ahead.
Yeah, you showing anything about our 11 o'clock, about 20 miles? Thing is looking, light is flying erratic, up and down, sideways.
And 3 Hotel Foxtrot, you said it's at your 11 o'clock in about 10 miles?
Yes.
Number 3 Hotel Foxtrot, I'm not depicting anything there. There's no targets. The only traffic I have near there is a heavy Airbus about 10 miles directly to the east of you, about your 9 o'clock position.
Yeah, we see the Airbus, but this one here was just flying so erratic. It was up and down, sideways, and now it seems to be flying away.
Number 3 Hotel Foxtrot, thank you for that. And do you know the approximate direction that he's heading right now?
Yeah, it looks like he's heading about 200.
Number 3 Hotel Foxtrot, thank you.
Africa 3224, what was that altitude again?
Good speed 224, descend and maintain 7,000, good rate down, please.
Good rate 7,000, good speed 224.
Canada David 901, potential traffic, your 12 to 2 o'clock position and about 7 miles. Another aircraft reported an aircraft flying erratically in that area. I do not depict any targets.
Yellow King, Scandinavian 901. Center for car 4517 290.
Yeah, 4517 Boston Center, good evening.
Hello.
And number 3 Hotel Foxtrot, do you know the color of lights that you're seeing?
Looks like a strobe. There may be a red and a green. Now it looks like he's flying about 120. He's gotten lower than us. He's still around 10 miles.
Number 3 Hotel Foxtrot, thank you. Canada David 901. The report on that potential traffic now, it appears to be turning to the east now and in a descent now. Another aircraft at 6,000 says it's below him.
Copy, Scandinavian 901.
AC 3819, descend and maintain 6,000, expedite.
Descend and maintain 6,000 and we'll expedite AC 3819.
Good speed 224, expedite the descent through 8,000.
Excellent, descent, good speed 224.
Bravo 3 Hotel Foxtrot, thank you for the reports. Contact New York approach 120.15. Have a good night.
Next up, we're going to hear the next audio clip. And this one talks about the second encounter where in the first one, the pilot identified a flying aircraft, a UFO. And in this one, radar is telling them that they are seeing something else. So have a listen here.
KMOP 4781, contact Albany approach 132.82. Good night.
3282, you have yourself a good night now, 4781. Good speed 224, I have traffic off my 3 o'clock right now.
Hey, good speed 224, you said it's off your 3 o'clock right now, and about how far?
It's hard to tell. There's a couple of, looks like a beacon and a strobe, but like 2 flashing red lights and a flashing white light.
And good speed 224, roger, on the course to Lemoore, are you going to stay clear of that traffic?
Yeah, so far it looks like we're paralleling with it. Good speed 224.
Good speed 224, thank you. I'm not depicting any targets to the west of you.
Good speed 224, roger.
And New York and Evo 3 Hotel Fox, the previous erratic traffic reported is now at our 10:30, 11 o'clock. Flying very erratically, and looks like it's coming towards us.
Do you have an altitude on him? I'm not showing anything, sir.
Yeah, we're at 3,000. He might be at 4.
Hey, I'm not showing literally nothing, no target at all. Only target I'm showing is 2 guys I'm talking to. One's at 6,000, the other guy's at 55.
Yeah, it's been very strange. He's flying very erratic, up and down, sideways.
Romeo November Yankee, turn left, heading 220, and proceed direct to Albay.
Turn left 220, direct, Albay.
elevated point. 02 Mike Yankee, level 2000, coming left 280.
Alright, 2085 for computer 4843, direct LV.
02 Mike Yankee, near departure of contact, turn left heading 280, coming maintain 4000. Coming left 280 and climbing to 4000, 902 Mike Yankee.
There you have it, some of the audio between air traffic control, one pilot, and then air traffic control and another pilot. And at times things were visible to the pilot's eyes, and at other times things were visible to air traffic control. But what I do know at this point is there are no answers. So what do you guys think? I always get the shivers whenever I hear a story involving aircraft, because I wonder what on earth is going on, and what would you do if you're in the sky and suddenly there was an object flying around. It's entirely different if you're witnessing it from the ground, but if you're in the sky, that is a form of contact. So anyhow, I look forward to reading your comments. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for sharing our videos with your friends. Myself, Beth, and Paul, we really appreciate it. And we'll see you in the next episode of Shed Show Talk. I'm Beth.